The yellow pedalway starts on the very southern edge of Norwich on the Ipswich Road at Harford Bridge. It then runs up Hall Road and uses the Lakenham Way old railway line into the city centre. Now, the route seems to have evolved over the years since the council map was produced, and there are now two options which we will follow. The yellow pedalway ends or starts, depending which way you're going, at a very unfriendly place on the Ipswich Road. This is not really anywhere a cyclist would want to get to. And we head north along the line of the old Hall Road. And this bit is badly overgrown. Need some hedge trimmers down here, Norfolk County Council. It should be said that this video was recorded in early August 2021, when traffic levels were still quite low following the coronavirus pandemic. Normally, this is a very much busier route. This is the official start of the southern leg of the yellow pedalway, the University Technical College. Over the railway line. Bit of an uphill here. And we're riding on the road again now. This is a very quiet little section of road though. Car dealership on the left. And straight ahead is Hall Road. This little bit of cycle track leads us onto the Hall Road shared use pavement. This is a shared use path, and as with all shared use paths, it can get very difficult at times. The route is mostly off-road on shared use pavements, although the standard of these varies considerably. So we come round by the side of the roundabout. And we cross over Neat Market. Watch out for traffic. A nice section of shared use pavement here, recently built, lovely smooth surface, unfortunately with a road sign stuck in the middle of it. The outer ring pedalway, the purple route, joins here. Although this part of the route doesn't actually run through the housing estate, which is just the other side of this busy road, it does serve all the factories and little industrial units in this industrial area, so it's quite a good commuting route. If this was a properly segregated cycle track, it would be really good. A bit of a hill here. It's not too difficult, but it is a little bit of a drag. And there's a number of side roads which you do have to take a bit of care over. This one leads down to an industrial park. There's a basic problem with this junction in that traffic has the right of way over the cycle route, so bikes have to stop at the junction. And together with the shared use pavements, it makes using these cycle tracks slow and inconvenient, and that's a pity. It's only a matter of design. And here we come to Bessemer Road, and at this point the purple pedalway leaves. Now, according to the cycle network map that you can see from the council, we should turn right there and follow Bessemer Road around to Sandy Lane. We haven't done that because there's a nice cycle track for us to use. This one's much better designed. You see the way the cycle track goes across the junction, and cyclists have priority. That's how it should be. The big thing about the yellow pedalway is that it has actually two parts, and you can go one of two directions. They both have advantages and disadvantages, so we'll do both. But for now, we just carry on following this nice straight shared use pavement past Asda supermarket, and a section which does actually seem to have been built as a dedicated path, although it isn't. And now we come to Sandy Lane, and at Sandy Lane we can make a choice. We can either turn right or we can go straight on. First of all, of course, we've got to get across Sandy Lane, and for that we have a two-stage crossing. Fairly quick on this side, and then the other side will have a bit of a wait. But this is where we have to make a choice of where to go, either left or right. Either way, we'll be on the shared use pavement and off the road. So we just wait for the light to change. Here we go. This time we're going to go left. We'll come back to this point shortly and go the other way as well. We're heading up Hall Road towards the Hall Road Roundabout. This section is badly overgrown. The path is a bit narrower here and the bushes don't help. There's another little side road coming up, which is the entrance to the outer town shopping centre, which doesn't seem to have a name. So watch out for the traffic. Now the pavement is really narrow just there. Now we come up to the beginning of the worst part of this route. First of all, we have to get across the Hall Road Roundabout. You do need to be a bit brave. So we cross Hall Road, and then we come to the second crossing of the outer ring road. Do have to be very careful here. This is not nice. Notice the roadworks sign in the cycle track. Now that's really dangerous. So we're now following Hall Road into the city. This section is a shared use pavement. To describe it as substandard is probably being generous though. We're right in front of a bus stop there, so we just plough straight through the queue, waiting for the bus. It is just a shared pavement. It's very narrow in places. The reason it's here is because we're about to go past one of the major schools in Norwich, the Hewett Academy. at school times this could be quite busy. This gets full of school kids and people walking. It's really impossible to use as a cycle track at busy times. Crossing Cecil Road leads down to Ipswich Road and City College. Little dead end St John's Close here with shops and the chippy. We don't go over the bridge there, we turn left and head down towards the Lakenham Way. It's almost a slip road, this is quite good fun. And just at this point we rejoin the alternative route of the yellow pedalway. So we'll go back to the Sandy Road crossing. And this time we'll turn right. And we follow Sandy Lane down the hill on a shared use pavement again. And here we have an example of why any off-road cycle track is inferior to riding on the road unless it's built properly. And you see, had I ridden on the road now, I could have gone straight through. So now we have to wait, and this crossing made us wait a long time, so I'll speed it up. So anyway, we get across Whitting Road. Go around some pedestrians. And we carry on going down the hill towards the railway bridge. There's an old railway bridge. And this is the beginning of the Lakenham Way. So we turn left and we head up onto the Lakenham Way cycle track and footpath. This is a very nice section. It's very pleasant to cycle through. The criticism with it, I suppose, would be that it largely avoids houses. It's an old railway line, and so roads go over it on bridges, and it's not that easily accessible, really. So this is a direct route through to the city. It's not totally isolated. You can get to it. There are access points, but it's not like the other route, which goes right through where people want to be. So you can see that there's two very different choices with this route, with the Lakenham Way or the Hall Road option. This is much more pleasurable to cycle. Now we pass under the outer ring road. This is a much better way to cross it. Now look at this guy, ringing the bell. He turns round and walks towards the sound of the bell. This is the problem with shared use cycleways. One minor criticism of it though, which isn't really a criticism, it's just me whinging, is they've landscaped it. From about here onwards, they filled in a cutting, so instead of it being a nice flat cycle track, you do have to climb a hill. But of course, it's made it more accessible to people, and it's not a serious problem. They're not big hills. This is a very popular cycling route, it has to be said, and it's easy to see why. It's a very pleasant place to cycle. You see here we've been raised up quite a lot really, so that we meet the level of the road. The old cutting was way down there on the left, look. But we're over the top now, and we get a nice little bit of downhill. And we approach the Hall Road crossing. And then of course just after the bridge we get the slip lane down from Hall Road and the two routes recombine. So now we're back together with the original route and we're heading into the city. Riding along here at commuting times actually can be really enjoyable. There's loads of people on bikes. It's just so totally different to riding in traffic. So we're coming to the end of the old railway now, heading up to what used to be Victoria Station. There's a couple of overbridges. This one's a tiny little dead-end street, milled close. It's got a nice bridge. And then a little bit further ahead, we see the end of the Lakenham Way, and we join onto Brazengate. This was intended to be one of the major radial access routes into the city, but the plans never happened, and it's a good job they didn't. So under Southwell Road, and then the Sainsbury's supermarket on the right, another little hill. Grove Road joins on the left, and this is also where the orange pedalway, the inner circle, joins the yellow pedalway for a short section. This is Queen's Road, the inner ring road. And this junction was intended to be a horrible mess of roads, with the extension to the inner ring road, which never happened, going to the right of the brick building in front of us. Anyway, we get green light for the bikes and off we go. Clearly marked cycleway across into All Saints Green. And here we turn left and the orange pedalway carries straight on into Surrey Street. Downhill on this section. Normally there's a lot of buses. That's the bus station on the left. We reach the Stephen Street and turn right. This is buses and taxis only now. It used to be an absolute traffic nightmare. Into Red Lion Street. With the castle ahead. This little section of road into Castle Meadow was built through for the trams. And now we're into Castle Meadow, again much widened for the trams. Sadly, the old trams were dismantled many years ago. It does take a fair bit of courage, and not to say concentration, to ride a bike through this road. You're surrounded by buses, and they're much bigger than we are. At the top of the small rise, and we take a left downhill into Opie Street. Cross over London Street, nip into Bedford Street, and then an immediate right into St Andrew's Hill. Cross over St Andrew's Street, and we end the journey in St Andrew's Plain.